Hey guys, this is Maria, Light Lover 1964. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me. I hope I can assist and support you. This is part 2 of my energy report that I did. Today's energy report, which I think I'm probably going to keep adding parts to it. But what I wanted to discuss on this part of it is something that I have been working on, that I will be doing a 5-day workshop, video workshop on Astrological Ascension and the collapse of unrequited or unrequited love timelines. And so what I want to talk to you guys about today and kind of see for it's something that makes perfect sense. And of course, we haven't, we don't understand things of this great cosmic level, until we're able to kind of sit with it. We got to assimilate it. We got to integrate. We got to figure out what's going on. And so in part 1 of this message, I talked about how I was catching on to a 10-year cycle. And then even greater than that, a 20-year cycle going back to 2001, the coming down of the towers, which of course the twins, the bifurcation of false twin timelines, which is kind of what we've been doing. Everybody has bifurcated to their own frequency, to where kind of like birds of a feather kind of thing. And that's exactly what's happened in the world now. And as we are in this year of change, right? This 2021 year, which is a 221 or a 5, which is the Christ consciousness, as we have chosen to express the words, right? Harm none, the Christ consciousness, peace, whatever that all entails, what was promised of our future, living in a world of peace. So that's what's happening right now. It's a great shift of ages. And so I think back to when I came to the United States in 1974, and I was born in 1964 in Argentina, in Buenos Aires. I came to the United States in 1974. And even then, I remember people talking about, of course, the Age of Aquarius. And the Age of Aquarius, and all I can think about every time I think of that is, hippies dancing, girls with beautiful blonde hair dancing with beautiful long flowy dresses and sunflowers and the peace movement. And, it's a very romanticized kind of memory that I have of, make love, not war kind of thing. But one of the things that I remember is that I always heard about the Age of Aquarius. And indeed, everybody now talks about how we've entered into the Age of Aquarius. So when we understand how the grid and how grids work and how the matrix, the holographic universe works, then consciousness, which is what we are, all of us are here at this time because we're all at the same frequency. That puts us at the same experience. The more that we are at a unified frequency, the more powerful that we become in manifesting our reality. So what? Right now there's 8 billion souls, they say, on this earth. 8 billion souls all manifesting towards a reality, and everything getting quantum entanglement and kind of being spit out into one thing. So that's as we're going through this great shift of ages, right? Why do we need this? Why do I understand now how this bifurcation is finally occurring and the importance of it? Why it's so important? And I'm going to tell it to you from a personal experience. When I had my spontaneous spiritual awakening, I was in a heart relationship, kind of with someone that no longer chose to walk the path with me. They are a non-believer, and the separation occurred. But it was very much of an unrequited love situation, right? And I realize now that looking back on it, after my awakening, the truth of what it was, right? But all this time, those final cords that needed to be cutting, there's still, it's been very, very difficult. And that's why, if you think about it, when you live and you are in the matrix, let's just say that, and let's call it asleep, alive in the matrix, right? You're thinking whatever. Um, when that's happening, right, and you are in it, fully integrated in it, and you're exercising free will, then that's exactly what has happened now in this final timeline, is that all souls have kind of made a decision as how they want to move forward. And so all soul contracts ended, so that new contracts can begin for new creations into these new eternal timelines. When those other contracts, however, ended, right, there were astrological contracts as well. So, for example, I was born in June. I was adopted in June. So I carry soul contracts for both a biological June Gemini and a adopted June Gemini bloodline. Um, and so I came in as a Gemini. But then, with the new 13th sign of the Webicus coming in, right, and shifting everything, I'm no longer a Gemini. I am now a Taurus. Now, what that means is like energetically, my contracts that were with Geminis, right, and whatever that other person was, right, that contract was solid because those two signs together were in synchronization or were in alignment of consciousness at the time the contracts were made. However, after the bifurcation, right, the unrequited love, it allowed for that final etheric contract or etheric attachment or courting to be cut, because my relationship with that particular astrological sign as a Taurus, which is what I am now that I am awake, right, is no longer the same relationship that I had with that same sign as a Gemini, because they're still going through their awakening. So I hope that this kind of makes sense what I'm trying to explain. I'm probably trying to make it too complicated. I'm certainly trying not to do that. So basically, the reason why we must have astrological ascension is to end the unrequited love timelines. Those cords must be cut so that you become, right, you evolve, your soul evolves out of one astrological sign into another, so that then it can learn and tap into the Akashic records of that particular consciousness, and then learn from there and take on the characteristics of that, right? So what do I know about Taurus? Well, I know that I feel different, right, than I did 10 years ago before my awakening. I'm very different. I'm a completely different person now. And indeed, I'm probably looking back on it, even though in many ways my twin is still in here, I have twinned now in a way with a Taurus. So I'm more of a Gemini Taurus than what I was before. And so normally, of course, the way that life is lived, or the way that we believed life to be lived before our awakening, was you're born into your family, they tell you how it is, you live it how it is, and then, let's say you're born a Gemini, and then you die a Taurus, right? You die whatever that date is that you die, let's say it's a Taurus, right? And then your soul kind of recycles, and your consciousness makes decisions, and depending on what you got going on, you then technically would come in and be born as a Taurus, right? But that's because you died. So the physical death is the cutting of the soul contracts and the bifurcation of the timeline that was. However, as we are now awakening to the new earth, and the whole species, all our, humanity is awakening, they're leaving behind one sign, one astrological sign, and they're moving on to whatever their new sign is now that the Oedipus, the 13th sign, the sign of the serpent, has awoken, right, and began to activate. And so we're working our way through the Akashic records of those constellations, right? This is how souls learn. So with us not dying because we're being reborn without death, right? And that I always, when I think of that, I think of Lazarus. I think of the Lazarus Project, of course. But I also think of the Bible, and Jesus and saying, you're going to be reborn. And that's exactly, we just didn't know that we would be reborn to live multidimensionally on this earth. We didn't know what we were expecting. I think no kidding, I think some of us thought we were going to be hanging out on clouds with little wings playing the harp. Or the drums or the electric guitar or something. That didn't go. But anywho, so astrological ascension is now why we have shifted into the age of Aquarius, because we're not just doing this on an individual soul contract level. We are re-signing with Mother Earth. Mother Earth herself is being reborn as a new astrological, right? She too is evolving, and we're signing all brand new contracts. And the age of Aquarius, the age of healing, is here so that we can move forward, we can solve all these problems, and we can allow for our species to continue. So anywho, if you have any questions, please leave me a comment. Please like, share, subscribe. I have some really cool shirts that are being made that I'm going to be selling. They say, follow your heart, shine your light, walk your path. And I'm setting up my my spiritual boutique, and I'm super excited about it. So you guys, thank you for listening, and I hope that you had a fantastic, beautiful day. And I will be doing a 5-day workshop where we will be looking at all our 5 multidimensional bodies: our mental, our physical, our spiritual, our emotional, and our energetic body, and how to shift all of those bodies with ease and grace and aligning of the new chakra systems, so that every day we can be fully aligned to our divine purpose and our divine timeline, and we're able to step fully into our service. What we're here to do, right now. Stay in the now. So I love you guys. Thank you for all your support. And I love you. And have a wonderful day and evening wherever you are. Okay? Y bueno, chao. Besitos, mi amor. Mua, mua, mua.